if you want to repeat. As always, all of my social media will be down in the description below if you want to. Oh my Jesus! I'm talking! It took me that long. Right outside. Tubers, and welcome back to my channel. First off, I want to apologize if you hear any noises in the background. They are doing roof construction on my building. They're on that half of the building, but it's still loud, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not. Second, you're going to notice that I'm just kind of like a little bit, and that's because literally an hour ago I got contacts for the first time. So I'm having a bit of a surrealism moment. I've been wearing glasses since I was 8. I haven't always been nearsighted, but I've been wearing them since I was 8, and I haven't been able to see clearly at a distance since I was 15. So it's a little bit of, I'm having a little bit of adjustment issues here. But that being said, let's get on with this week's character breakdown. We are on take 2 into The Hobbit, and much like with Effie, I decided to totally destroy my shipper self with this character because, well, you'll see. This week's character is once more another dwarf, and her name is Thistle. Fair warning, all 3 of my Hobbit characters are dwarves, which just throw that right out there. If you want like human or elf, go to Lord of the Rings. For a description of the Hobbit series, I'm gonna leave Maura's video from last week linked down in the description below. Until then, let's start with Thistle. She was unintentional, to be honest. I'm saying a lot, sorry about that. Given that I am a die-hard Bilbo Thorin shipper, I never meant to create someone for Thorin. Like I said, I also never meant to create someone for Derek when writing Effie, so... But Thistle that just kind of happened when I started writing Unexpected Journey. Thistle has a flashback to living in Erebor, and it ended up being a scene with her and Thorin, and it was most definitely not platonic. When it came to creating Thistle, I wanted her to be different from what I've done with Maura. Thistle is a talented jewel crafter, often said to be more talented than any of the other races who practice the same art. Unlike most dwarves, even female ones, she keeps her face clean shaven because she has singed herself one too many times working in her shop and in her own kitchen. She carries multiple knives on her, most of them hidden. Think Fili in Desolation of Smaug when they're taken by the elves. That'll give you a hint as to how many weapons Thistle carries on her. She dresses as the warriors of her company. She's skilled at throwing axes. And she carries a throwing axe on each hip. When it comes to her life before Smaug, she was from an aristocratic family. She had a brother and her parents, and was in a secret relationship with, at the time, Prince Thorin. They had intended to come clean with their relationship that coming harvest before Smaug attacked. Before leaving the mountain, Thistle looked forward to a life as a wife and mother. Afterwards, it just wasn't an option. Her brother and parents were killed in the attack, leaving her to fend for herself. Yes, she did have Thorin's help, but things got complicated for them when they left the mountain. I am not gonna lie. There's nothing that comes to mind over what's easy to write about Thistle. I don't normally have characters this hard to write, but everything about Thistle is complicated. Her relationship with Thorin, the journey to Erebor, and the events once they're in Erebor just about break her. And that pretty much makes everything hard when it comes to writing her. But I also find that the hardest characters to write are the ones most worth that hardship. Best memories for Thistle really aren't there, at least not during the 3 movies. Even thinking onto her past before Smaug makes her they're tainted now because of how complicated things got with her and Thorin, and just it takes a while for her to remember what happy memories are. But afterwards, when things return to as normal as they can, she has a few. Her best, I have to say, is tied between her wedding to Thorin and the birth of their twin sons. After so long of being unsure if she and Thorin would actually make it as a couple, because, you know, he falls into the dragon sickness, all the crap they went through before they started the journey, theirs is a complicated history. The day they marry is almost unreal for Thistle, and then having their first pregnancy be twins is even more fulfilling. She'd always wanted to be a mother, helping Thorin's sister Dis raise Fili and Kili, and then having her own children just made her feel all the more complete. Her worst memory was hard to pick. I feel horrible for saying that, but she has a lot of bad memories, and the worst is when she confronts Thorin in the treasure room of Erebor. She's trying to get him back from the gold sickness by reminding him of their past and how she promised to make sure he would never fall like his grandfather had. For a moment, she thinks she's getting through to him before the sickness takes over once more, and she's convinced that the dwarf she loves is gone forever. And shortly after she leaves him, she runs into Dwalin, and I did in my blog give you a little sneak peek of that conversation, and I will give it to you here now. I will read it for you. This, the older dwarf, caught her arm gently, seeing her tears. What happened? Thistle shook her head, tears streaming down her face. He's gone, Dwalin. I don't know who that dwarf is in there, but he's not our king. Dwalin exhaled, hugging Thistle close. Don't give up hope yet. The last of my hope lay amongst his precious treasures. Thistle nearly whimpered against Dwalin's chest. It's not mine to give up any longer. Pulling away, Thistle wiped her face and continued on, ignoring Dwalin's calls for her to wait and come back. Her heart was broken, her dreams shattered, and the place she once called home was now nothing more than a living nightmare from which she had no escape. So, I'm really good at writing heartbreaking scenes, and I mean like ridiculously good. Anyone who reads my work knows I'm really good at the heart-wrenching stuff, but I am also really good at the happy stuff too, so it does not in any way, shape, or form balance out. But I knew that this moment was needed because there needed to be a breaking point for Thistle when she realized Thorin had to get himself out of this. She couldn't do it. He had to pull himself out of the sickness, and that was the breaking point, and it also just happened to be her worst memory. I am a horrible human being, and I admit it, but, you know, I feel to be a writer, especially one of original characters, you have to have some part of you that is just like, ooh, what can I do to make their lives hell? And I'm really good at it. Original intention for Thistle certainly was not to have her end up with Thorin. That's just how she wrote. Now, much like Mora, I need to finish Battle of the Five Armies. Well, start it, actually. I have bits and pieces at the moment. It's just a really hard movie for me, so maybe making these videos for my Hobbit characters will inspire me to, no, it won't. It's not in any way, shape, or form. I don't know why I'm trying. But that is our character breakdown for Thistle. Let me know down in the comments below if you liked hearing about her. If you like having little segments of their stories in, you know, in the videos and the blog posts, let me know, because I actually do like adding those. As always, all of my social media will be down in the description below, along with my blog if you want to read the post that goes along with this video. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons so you get notifications every time I upload. Make sure your notification settings is set to all so you actually get notifications every time I upload. And I'll see you guys in next week's video.